The Big Picture. That's the show this is, where I interview people. And today I'm interviewing a longtime friend, companion of mine that I am very excited to interview actually. And his name is Rob.
Thank you.
And you want to say a thing or two about yourself? Like like icebreaker style, your
So,
name, where
yeah.
you're from, that sort of thing.
So, my name's Robert Nguyen. I am from Hanoi, Vietnam. Right now, I'm working as a sports journalist, a photographer, and I do a lot of other stuff as well. Podcasts. I'm starting to do filmmaking as well, which
Yeah.
I never done this in my life before. So it's gonna be rather interesting.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out where to start because I feel like you've lived an interesting life and I don't feel like I know enough about it. So I guess just start off with similar to other ones I've done. Just like where were you born? What was that early part of your life like?
So I was born in Hanoi, Vietnam. Hanoi is the capital of Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a rather interesting place because I lived there for 18 years before I moved to the States to study college, and during that time, there have been a tremendous amount of changes, not only for me but also the place I live as well because there's a tons of modernization. Like Vietnam is moving up in the world, economically as well. So like, there's a lot of changes in my life, but it's also very interesting. Like when you went out of you go out of your comfort zone. You move away from Vietnam. You move away from the only place you ever live in the world, and then you move to here. It felt completely different of how you change your life because back in Hanoi, it was really fast paced. There's like at least like a few millions people live in the cities because it's the capital.
Yeah.
And you have to move every single day. That's how I live, and and then you come here. It's a much different life. It's more chill out, more zone out, but it also let me see a different side of myself as well. That another side, a bit chiller, not as fast paced, but more focused on what I really want to do.
Yeah.
And like it really changed how I live after 1 year at Knox.
Well, it's interesting to say because like there's this idea that like when you keep yourself really busy and you're just running around, you don't really have time to reflect on yourself and what you want to do. And so what you're saying is coming to the small town of Knox College in Galesburg kind of helped you kind of figure out what you wanted to do.
Yeah, it changed me a lot because 1 year when I first came to Knox, I thought I'm gonna be a journalist. Like I'm gonna stick to it for the rest of my life. And then I found out maybe I should change a bit. Maybe I should do more than just journalist. Being a journalist, maybe I should do more journalism. I should I should venture more into something else. And one thing I love about is art, and I love art so much. Is being a part of me as I grew up with, because I grew up in the basic art family. My grandparents work in stage. My mom, she really adores different artists, and around my house, around her house back in Hanoi, she hung up at least dozens of pictures around her house. And like most of my family, even my relatives in New York as well, they are really into art. So like I think why not try something different. And art is something I knew that I had known for most of my life, and that's why I enjoyed so much. And it just felt something different, and moving away a bit from journalism. Like you do something more, but then that there's more to you than just that.
It is, and I want to say I really like that because I don't know, you really do need to expand your horizons, right? Like you may have an idea of what you want to do with your life, but you should really take from other places. And with that, I would ask, are you still wanting to do journalism with your life in the future, or do you
Yes.
feel like yes? So you've taken from the different arts, and you feel like has that empowered you in wanting to do journalism,
And the things that when you incorporate arts and journalism, it's something completely different, and it's is much more visual, but it's
Yeah.
much more fun to do it as well, because I thought about being a journalist, but then but I remember spring last year I took a class of journalism as well, but then it is more digital. So we did a lot of filming, we did a lot of radio, a lot of projects. We made our own website, and also we ventured into a bit more TV-ish,
Yeah.
so broadcasting, and you know, it's much more different than Wino, and it also helped me got a job as an intern back in Vietnam during past summer, and that's an experience. Like those 10 weeks was absolutely amazing, and like a lot of my future plans, and was because of that 10 weeks that helped me. That
For
that
your future
for my
plans.
future plans. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can jump right into that. So, you have a lot of things in your near future, which are super fascinating. And with that was those 10 weeks you spent over the summer. And where did you intern, and what was that all about?
So I was lucky that I got I got an internship opportunity in Vietnam, back in my home. Sorry. I was interning for Vietnam Television, VTV, which is the National Broadcasting Service of Vietnam. So I work for the sporting department, and I would probably during the peak time of the year as well, because that is during the World Cup. And then after the World Cup, we got development news of something probably I've dreamed of since I was 3, I believe, because I always been fascinated and I love Formula One, so which is like a motor racing world championship that they race around the world. And as a kid, I used to watch almost every race. I watched my first ever full season in 2004, and 2018 was my 15th season watching Formula One.
Wow.
And I have been fascinated. I wrote blogs about it before I came to Knox, I did a ton of research on it, and the opportunity came, and I got to work with probably some of the best people in the country, and also I got to experience and also being myself, like how I got in charge, because as an intern they also asked me to do some of the projects as well, because it was quite funny because because I had the most knowledge of it in the office, and there was a lot of project that they asked me to look into, and I was really fascinated of it. And at the end of the internship, like, they also told me that if I want to come back, they always happy for me to come back, and they would love me to come back to do the first ever Formula One race in Vietnam, which was announced that it would be taking place in April 2020.
So Formula One, you said it's a race around the world? What?
Well, they host this race around the world. So
Okay.
like, every year there's around 20 to
And is
21
it race car? Like,
Well,
what kind of race
so
is
like
it?
it's what we call it open wheel racing. So like in the US, the closest thing to Formula One is IndyCar. But most people in the States probably will know just like NASCAR.
Yeah.
But Formula One is something quite different, from more technical. Like those drivers are like, a lot of these drivers, they are extreme athlete. Every race they had to take at least 5 Gs out of their bodies. They lost like 10 pounds per race, which is amazing.
That's
like
crazy.
that how they like how physical it is just to drive a car.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, Formula One. I've never heard of this, but now I'm very curious. So you interned here, and you were invited to come back, and that's part of your future plans, right?
That's part of my future plans, and I can't wait to do it as well.
Like, so they'd be paying you, you'd be doing big projects. Like, what does it entail?
So mostly what I really want to venture in the future is being a commentator. That because like as a kid I always like self-commentate myself, like watch the race and just self-commentate, just enjoying it, just enjoying it, and just do other stuff, being on-site reporter, talking to drivers, asking them, how's the race for you? Probably they would respond differently as well. I don't know, but that's something I really want to do.
How young were you when you first became like a fan of Formula One? Do you think? Like,
I remember it was like 4 years old, I believe.
So is it like kind of a dream come true, you being able to have this opportunity to?
Yeah, because I can't even believe it's coming to Vietnam though, because because that's something you have dreamed for so long, and then now it's about to happen in front of your eyes. I have been to a few Formula One races in my life, 2 of them in Singapore, and like when you watch the race on TV and then you watch in real life, it's a stark contrast.
Yeah.
Like you could hear the noise, you could hear the noise rumbling around your ears. You have to.
The earth would be rumbling too, right?
The earth will be rumbling.
Yeah.
Like your heart is racing, and you smell the burning fuel, the burning rubber. It's like your heart is jumping out of your body.
It makes it real because like it's got to be dangerous too. I mean, how fast are they going? Like
they are at peak more than 200 miles per hour.
Gosh, I get scared when I'm driving on the highway at 80. I can't. So like, it's this high speed racing, and you'd be able to like talk to these people, interview them, commentate on it.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
That's something I hope that they would let me do in the future.
Now, if you do pursue that, would you be staying at Knox, or would you kind of quit your education here and start?
I would love to finish everything at Knox first,
yeah,
and then I would pursue, because these 4 years in the States would change my life forever, and I don't plan to ditch it early, because when I come to the States, it's completely different. I made a lot of friends, like a lot of good friendship with you as well.
Yeah. Eric, I mean a bunch of people, right?
And also like so much new experience that I really want to find out for myself, and that's what I want to pursue in my life, which just living the day to the fullest, having the best time that I can have in my life.
And I have to say, like and I feel like I've talked to Eric and other people about this, like you just have this energy about you, and I don't know if it comes from the always running around back when you were living in Vietnam compared to here, but like you have this energy about you of like, every time you see us, it's like, hey, you're like full of positive energy, and
that's what I want to, just want to have fun, just having a good time, because like I just don't want to look myself grumpy, like hey, like how's it going? I just want to have some energy to it, have some fun, because what's your life without fun?
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
That's true. Plays a big part of life, having fun, like. Even when you're kids, like, you'll see little baby puppies playing. It's a big part of life. And I guess sort of a big question I'm having now, because we've been talking about how Knox has been an opportunity for you to learn and have fun and live life to the fullest. Why did you choose Knox compared to other? Like, were you always thinking you wanted to go to the States? And if so, why Knox? Like, what was that decision process like?
There's a rather interesting question, because the States wasn't my first choice originally. I was planning to stay in Australia though. That was my plan, because one of my cousins studied back in Australia, and I thought, it's a good place, and around that time, a lot of Vietnamese started to study abroad. That's like our generation is the generation that moved to the States. Yeah, well, like the brand new generation, the 90s, and it got me thinking. But then but then more and more people went to North America. Like more people I know went to North America, and then mostly States. And I said, why not States? Land of the free, like,
home of the brave, all that good stuff.
All the brave, American dream. I never thought about American dream, but it's like something you want to experience.
It's a place to go. Yeah.
So like I applied, but my top choice is Villanova, but I got rejected.
Oh no!
No, it's totally fine.
So was Knox like third down the line, or where was Knox on the list?
Well, to be honest though, I was planning to pick Augustana over Knox. So Augustana is like an hour away from here.
Yeah, I've been to Augustana. It's a
nice Knox campus. Yeah. So like, but then
the roads are awful though. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's like vertical hills.
I know, it's like hills, like you have to like climb up and down. Yeah,
it's not a great
I know
roadway.
If you're not physical, it's not gonna be fun traveling all around Augustana.
Yeah.
But I choose Knox. They offer me the best package of any college and
Like
university applied.
monetarily wise, like a scholarship and
Monetary
things
as
like
well.
that. Yeah.
And also they were really interested in my writing at that point. And I heard Knox has a very good journalism program as well. So I decided, why not roll with Knox?
Yeah.
And now I feel grateful that I got rejected by Villanova though, because Knox has been amazing, and I greatly enjoy my experience here.
Yeah, I feel I think that there's always that feeling, and I feel like I talk about this a lot with people, but it's a common Knoxian thing. Like, there's a lot of people who I feel like have that moment of like, maybe I should have chosen a different college, but then sometimes that thought just
Throw
away. Have
Yeah.
you ever had that thought, or has it always been as soon as you got here, Knox was the place to be?
I think at some point you would doubt yourself that have I made the right
Like,
decision?
what could have been?
What
right?
could have been if I went to Augustana, if I went to Villanova, if I actually got in. And, at some point last year, I thought about nearly transferring as well, because I had a bit of tough time during winter break last year, back in 2017.
Yeah.
But I managed to pull through, and now I'm here.
Yeah, pulling, like, we might get deep here, but like, what? That's what I like to do on the show. It's the big picture, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned, and we don't have to get into the things that happened in winter term or winter break, but what was it maybe that helped you get through that? Because that's something I always love to talk about, because everyone has struggles, but everyone kind of gets through it differently. I mean, there are similarities that touch each one, but like, what was it that got you through that?
I think the things that winter break back in 2017 was really tough, because at that time I was having a really great time. And then me and a friend, we were supposed to meet in Chicago. We were a very close friend. But then she passed away before I could meet her in Chicago. And it really hit me hard. I struggled mentally during the 2 weeks before classes return. And I just tried to assure myself that, try to be positive.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
but then, it was fine in the beginning at first. But then when it came to spring term, it starts to, it came out of nowhere. It hits me really hard.
That's grief does that to you. It'll just show up.
I remember during April 2018, there's at least a week or two, I just cried every day. Because I couldn't stop, because it hurts so much, because I love her so much, and we're planning to see each other, just going, having fun, and we have a lot of the same passion as well, and I knew her for a good amount of time, but then when I was crying, I told myself, do you want to keep crying, or you want to keep moving forward? And I told myself, I made it this far. I had to keep going.
You have to keep going.
And then, after that, things start getting better. I start enjoying myself more, having fun, and enjoying doing my projects, finding, how capable I am.
Doing things that are, worthwhile as well, right? Like, pursuing these awesome projects. And I don't know if I've lost a really good friend November 1st, 2017 as well.
Yeah.
It's a rough time, but you're completely right. It's part of just moving forward. A lot of it is because time is the best medicine. Sometimes it sucks because you wish it would go faster, but if you just keep moving forward, eventually you'll be at a better place.
I think at times you will still have these memories, it will haunt you for a while, but I also try to keep all the good memories with me. All the best memories that we had together, because it was fun. She was all positive. She was fun. And I want to have that same energy like her as well.
I would encourage, I had someone tell me that I should write down memories I have with the person who died. So I have a Google Doc of just memories.
Yeah.
If you have, I would encourage that. I mean, it's kind of rough because it will bring up some emotions, but I don't know. It's because I know I'm going to probably forget some of those memories at some point. So it's nice to have them written down. And I know you're a journalist and a writer, so that might be up your alley if you ever want to do that.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So you've struggled, you're moving forward, there's all these new things on your horizon.
Yeah.
How do you are you a really busy person then with all this stuff coming up? How do you manage these projects?
This winter term has been crazy, to be honest. you know, winter term is always the hardest. You know, physically and mentally as well. It's really cold outside, and I just got, you know, new projects coming up.
Yeah.
As I told from the beginning of the show, I'm making a film with a friend.
Oh yeah.
A really short film. So we just done storyboarding yesterday, and we will probably plan starting filming at the end of the week.
What's
if we can.
what's the short film about, if you don't mind me asking?
Is I wouldn't tell you first, but it's kind of a bit comedy horror. Just a very short film, probably 2 or 3 minutes.
Of course, don't spoil it for me, because I want to see it, but you know.
And I'm also continuing my racing podcast as well with my roommate.
It's like the Giz.
The Gizmo Debrief. That's how we call it. So probably you are wondering about the name, which is a bit weird for a racing podcast, because if like you have a racing podcast, it has to be something with fast, something loud. We it was the name I came up. So I met this guy who's my roommate right now, Robert Draper. He's in Senate, and we met and we both love Formula One. We both love racing, and we talk about making a podcast together. So like when we during our freshman year, I always came to his room probably like 7, 8 in the morning just to watch races with him. And after that, we just came down to Gizmo and start talking about after a race. So I just called the Gizmo Debrief
because of where it started.
Where it started.
Oh, that's nice. I was wondering, because I was like, it's not really a Knox podcast, is it? It's but that's actually a really sweet story. It's sort of similar to The Big Picture, right? Because The Big Picture didn't always used to be an interview show.
Yeah.
It was originally a show where me and a great friend of mine, Grace, would just sit and talk about whatever. And we called it that because I was really, and I still am, into philosophy, and she was really into theater. And so we kind of put it together. Yeah. Oh, so you're making a short film with a friend. Your
podcast, yes.
Podcast, you're doing academics. I presume you're keeping up with your academics, or is that falling behind?
No, it's going good. From whatever reason, with also my work at TKS as well, so as a photographer.
And you're working as a photographer.
As a photographer, and also take photos for fun. That's why that's my hobby. Like I'm kind of still managed to do it, because whatever the workload is, I still surprised that I managed to pull through. Maybe a bit of struggle, but probably the first 1-2 weeks you start you start to learn like how to control your time, how to manage your time, and how to plan every day, because like something will come up at some point, like and you will have to do different works at this part and then at the next part. But so far it's good, coming better, but I won't ask for more.
Do you use, like, I'm trying to figure out how you formulate your schedule, because that's sort of selfishly, because I'm trying to figure out how to formulate mine. Do you use things like Google Calendar, or do you just go?
I just go with it.
Wow,
that's how I do it.
I'm jealous. So are you saying you don't even know your own rhyme? Or you don't even know how you're able to do it? You just managed to do it?
I think I managed to do it because back in Vietnam, we used to study a lot. Because in Vietnamese education, we study at least like 12, 13 subjects.
Wow.
In a week. So there's like a ton of homework, a ton of readings, and we have to manage it. And also like during the senior year in high school, I had to do my application as well. And also study for the geography of the national contest. So like you have to manage every single thing, because I remember during those times I had to bicycle all around the city, because the problem is that my high school is at one end, and where I usually do my work is on the other hand. It's like half an hour apart. So I have to travel sporadically, study SATs, TOEFL, and then back to school to do all those things, and then you have to go home and study another part of it, and then the application. There's like a lot of things like going around your head, but you have to know how to control it, because if you can't do it, then basically you're doomed. But sometimes like we skip class a few times.
You.
Yeah, that's how we do it back in high school. We have like a very big campus, so like yeah, screw it. Like if I don't want to do this, nah, I'm not going to class. And also like we also like using like my because like I was like studying to try to make to the national team, which I did. So we always like convince like our teachers like to let us out and for us to study. But I didn't even study at all. I just played basketball during that time.
So it sounds to me like it was just from a young age living in Vietnam, you had to learn how to manage your time.
Yeah.
Because for me, and I think a lot of, I mean, I guess it depends. Okay, I'll just say for me, and I'm sure other people could relate. I didn't have to. I sort of had parents and friends who would tell me where I had to be certain times, and I don't know. I feel like for you, it was sort of like. It was, I guess, from what I heard, it's like a sink or swim situation. You're thrown in the water and like you gotta go.
You have to adapt immediately.
Yeah, you have to adapt immediately. So I'm trying to figure out my schedule. I'm like using Google Calendar now.
Yeah.
I have a set time to work on academic stuff because I need it, and it's a struggle for me. But I'm sure. I mean, I can figure it out.
I think the things that like I always do something are pre-plan it, but also if something came along, I just go with the flow. Mm-hmm. That's how I do it. So I could keep a basic amount of time that I can do my work, because like you have to divide into sections. So like, I always like have 3 main sections. So like how I divide my time is classes first, and then afternoon and night. So like afternoon, like you have something you can move to the night, or like you can switch between both. It depends. And I never studied on weekends as well. Well, not from Friday night until until some Saturday night. I never studied anything, so I had to manage everything because I just want to have one day off just to have fun.
Yeah, that's a policy I'm trying to implement by having those hours to work on actual schoolwork, so I'm not procrastinating until the weekend. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to work that out too. Wow, I have to say I'm impressed with you as a person, which is why I'm happy. I didn't realize. So I'm just going to reiterate this for everyone listening. This man, Rob, is making a short film with his friend. He has a podcast. He's keeping up with all his school activities. He does photography for TKS. He's going to be working on TV, right?
In the future
with Formula One interview.
Formula One racing sports, yeah.
That's a lot. Like, out of all those things, what would you say you're most excited for, or could you not choose that? Like,
I think what I'm most excited for is something we just discussed at the start about Formula One.
Yeah, it's gotta
be because something you dream of, and it's just like boom, it happened. It's gonna happen soon, and I'm just really excited because I can't wait to come back for this summer to continue the internship program again, and then to do all the training that I'm being able to handle pressure on TV in the future if they approve me to do it. And then also interestingly, this morning I received an email. So the main sponsor of the race, one of the person who works for the main sponsor of the race, contacted me because my uncle advised him to contact me that they want to do some kind of partnership with me as well. So like I am basically dumbfolded right now.
That's wild.
So I have no idea what's in store next, because I have one thing with TV and then this partnership as well. So and also before the race was being announced as well, I was working with the internship, and also did the promotion for the race as well. So like to the public, just providing information, having more race coverage as well. So it is very interesting because it is a really, really interesting time.
That's awesome. So like, man, I'm trying to think, because you have such a full life that it's actually hard to pinpoint what exactly to talk about. But so you really passionate about this Formula One. You're so excited to be doing it. You're going to be like, you have a partner, like a sponsored sort of deal happening.
Well, not a sponsor, just probably a partnership.
Yeah.
Upcoming. I have no idea what's going on. Probably I'm not getting paid, which I'm totally fine with it. Yeah. But yeah, and just spontaneous.
Are you just said you don't mind if you don't get paid. Are you in that sort of camp that the money doesn't matter, it's the passion?
I think it's the passion goes first.
Yeah, it's passion then money, right?
I think I think money is something, but like I would love to do something I absolutely passionate about.
Hmm.
Like if you give me $1 billion to work for Facebook, well, I'm not gonna be happy for that because I have no clue on IT and anything.
Yeah.
But you probably paid me a decent amount to work on Formula One. Say hell yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, of course. Are there any Formula One car racers that inspired you when you were a kid, or like, what did you ever consider being a Formula One
I think as a
driver?
kid, everyone loves being a Formula One driver. It's life like you know on TV. It always depicted that you're a celebrity. You drive the fastest car in the
Yeah.
world. You're handsome. You party a lot.
Yeah.
You train. You have beautiful bodies as well. So like that's
The
like
ultimate hero,
and then,
right?
like,
Yeah.
you're gonna earn like so much money. So like, that's something you always dream of. I think Formula One, like there are three drivers that inspired me. One from the past, probably two from the past and one from the current. So like the past, the first driver I idolized was Michael Schumacher, 7-time Formula One world champion. But you know, and a lot of people tell me who holds probably almost all the Formula One records, most wins in the history, most championship. Then Ayrton Senna, probably being described as fastest driver in the history. Fearless, completely ballsy. He passed away in '94, but he's more than just Formula One. You know, he did a lot of philanthropy back in Brazil.
Oh, that's good.
And that's something I would love to do in the future if I have dedicated time for it. And you know and then he's very active. He spoke out a lot of injustice and stuff. And then we have and right now Lewis Hamilton, the first and only colored skin driver, black driver in sport Formula One, 5-time Formula One world champion, and interesting story. Grew up very poorly. His father, his dad worked 5 jobs just to support his racing, and now he's a 5-time Formula One world champion. And those are 3 person that I completely idolize in Formula One.
There's it's crazy how like I had never really heard of Formula One till even now. I knew you talked about some form of racing or sport thing, but I didn't really. I have some images up. They are just images to give me somewhat of an idea. But like it's so crazy to me how there are parts of lives that we never touch on, and then we see it and we're like, whoa, there's like people and stories there.
Yeah.
That it's just wild. So is that driver the last one? Lewis
Hamilton. Yeah.
Is he a person you would want to interview in your new job, commentate
Obviously,
Yeah.
I can't wait to interview him.
Is he like the top person you want to like talk to? Or?
Top 1 right now.
Yeah.
I really want to just have a good conversation with him. Probably just sit down, probably have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And like, hey, like what's going on? Like, what's going on in your life with racing? Like, how do you feel? That's something I would love to do in the future.
Man, that's gotta be like I'm thinking now. Like my heroes through my childhood, like, being able to meet them in like not in like a hey I'm a fan and I'm meeting you, but in like hey I'm in this profession where I'm in like where you can kind of
like
meet them at
hi,
that.
welcome to this show.
Yeah,
and then,
exactly.
And then, like let's have a chat. Like
Yeah.
just about Formula One.
Yeah.
No bullshit. Just having fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm jealous of you, I would have to say, and I think a lot of people would be. I mean, you're living
But
the dream.
But to be fair though, I'm still rather lucky to have this opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I never thought that being this young and advanced this fast is crazy. But it's just a start because there's still a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
Like
It's pushing through, right? Like
just
we were
pushing
saying
through.
with, yeah.
Just
pushing through.
like nothing's handing you on a silver plate. You have to work your ass off for it. Like I'm lucky I have like incredible group of people support me and help me in many aspects of my life, and also emotionally as well. But I'm like really happy to have this opportunity. It is something incredible to do it, because you dream of something, and then it is coming much closer to reality. But yeah, I can't say like, I'm quitting. I'm not doing like
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop. No, I'm not, like, I'm not that person. I want to push for more. Like, I'll crave for even
Yeah.
more. That maybe not too much because
Yeah.
but just enough that I can enjoy.
Well, I think a point you're making is like, opportunities aren't things that are just given to you. They're things that are presented to you, and you're the one who has to take that opportunity.
You have to take it.
You have to take, like, and that's what you're doing, which is, I think, inspirational and something that should be talked. I mean, gosh, how old are you? Like, you're
20. I just
20.
turned 20 last week. The week
Yeah, it was
before.
your birthday,
so
yeah.
So like, yeah, and also about the internship, I almost turned it down.
Really?
I almost turned it down.
The initial summer internship, that 10-week one?
Yeah.
Or, wow.
I was thought about not doing any internship, but then I realized, like, it's a golden opportunity. I had to take it. And they offered me 10 weeks. Why could I say no?
Yeah.
10 freaking weeks, like, working for the national TV is, is mind-boggling.
You, like, even just for the experience, even if it doesn't go anywhere, you have to do it, right?
And then
like,
it was fun because, like, I grew up watching these shows, and then, like, you went into that same environment, and you met all this person that you have listened, you have seen through TV all your life, and you actually meet them for the first time, which is kind of weird, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like, they get me so much insight that about their job, and how they manage the aspect of it, how they have to work, and also their beginning as well, because, like, they used to be interns as well, just going around helping anything they can.
Yeah.
And then that's something, like, I learned from so much, that as an intern, like, you don't just sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you have to work around. Like, if people ask you to do something, you have to do it. Like, but then you will grow from it as a person as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it back a bit from this awe-inspiring thing and bring it back to Knox a little bit, because I think a lot of people, well, I mean, we're on live wise, we're on WVKC.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this afterward, it'll be on YouTube. But like, with Knox, like, you got involved with TKS obviously because you're into journalism.
Yeah.
How do you like TKS? Do you think, because I love it, I read it every week. Like, what do you have any general thoughts on TKS? Or
It's right. I think a lot of people will have mixed opinions on TKS.
They do.
I think a lot of people have mixed opinions. I just work for TKS as a photographer. I don't write right now.
Yeah.
I don't really planning soon to write.
Yeah.
But being a photographer is pretty fun. You meet new people. You go around. Cover events. Take photos of of the people, and then it gets featured on. It's like, it has your name on it. So I say, like, I love photography. So it's something I and also help me in the future as well if I want to do more photography, if I need to.
My Facebook profile picture is a photo you took. It's a very good photo.
That was for the assignment though. So I didn't. But yeah, it's a pretty good photo.
I like the photo, so. But I've seen some of your other more, like, really professional photos, and they are really fantastic.
Yeah.
Like some of the photos you've done with Eric, the photos you were showing me at the Giz that one time.
Yeah.
They're pretty fantastic. How did you get the photography job with TKS? Did you show him some examples of photos you took?
No, actually. So, like, I played frisbee last year with
That's
the
right.
team. So, like, our captain, Jonathan Strack, is the managing director for a magic editor for TKS, and I talked to him, and he said, "Oh, just come to our office and just come to our meeting. Like, if you're interested in job, then we'll get one for you." So, like, after pre-period, I was supposed to join, hoping to join around around the last few weeks during fall term, but then a brief mild concussion held me back. So, like, so I had to postpone everything until the start of winter term to start working as a photographer.
And that was this year, right?
This year, yes.
Yeah, because I remember your mild concussion last year.
Yep.
Or last term. Last term.
Last
actually.
term, yeah.
Um, so with that, you mentioned ultimate frisbee, which I can't believe I forgot. That was a big part of your freshman year, right?
Yeah, that's a really big part of my freshman year.
Um, and you no longer are doing it.
Yeah.
What was that a really hard decision? Like because you made friends there? Like what did that all look like? That well, I guess first off, why did you join Ultimate Frisbee Club that first year, freshman year?
I think something I just like interested in because
Yeah.
I saw people play frisbee before, but then but I never actually had a chance to play it. It's a brand new sport I have no knowledge about, and like I love basketball, but then someday I can't play regularly.
Yeah.
And then frisbee is fun. There are people outside, just enjoying it, and you learn something new every day. And yeah, the frisbee just came to me immediately, and I had a lot of great time with the team. Great parties as well.
Oh yes, the frisbee.
The old frisbee house, yeah.
Frisbee team and improv are like up there with like the cultiest groups.
The cultiest.
Frisbee definitely has the crazier parties,
crazy
for
party.
sure. Yeah.
Like frisbee's basically they are basically a fraternity, to be honest.
Yeah,
or sorority.
They're like they're just a group of people that party hard and have weird cultish.
Every single weekend, almost every single weekend. And I have so much fun playing frisbee. Maybe a bit of injuries as well, which wasn't fun. I was on crutches a few times.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. It was really funny. Played. We almost made the nationals. We just lost the final games before. We just lost, but then all the friendship, all camaraderie, teammates. Yeah. It was really enjoyable. It was really enjoyable. But at some point during spring term last year, I started to second thought of it, because with all the new projects coming up because I pre-planned some of the projects during spring term last year for fall term, and I realized this is getting out of hand.
The amount of time it's taking up?
The amount of time it's taking. So I thought to myself, I gave a tremendous amount of time to think about it, and it got me thinking. And should I stay or should I not? It was a really hard decision, but then at some point, my mentally, I just don't really feel do really want to do this, because I spent so much time developing the new projects. And I was planning to tell the team after regionals, after our last game of the season, but I postponed my decision because that day last time all the seniors played together, and I want to have the respect for them, because I don't want my news to overshadow the whole team.
Yes.
Because those seniors are they're some most influential person on the team, and I love them so much. So I thought to myself, should I rethink again? And I rethink back and forth. Could I do this? Could I do that? And it took me into July, and then I decide on my own that it's time to move on.
Yeah.
And
because it was a hobby, right? It was a hobby. You made good friends with the frisbee thing, but it wasn't your passions.
And I love frisbee, but I thought to myself, what can I do with frisbee in the future? That's one question that's bothering me, because I love frisbee, but I can't make a workout. I can't make a living out of frisbee. It's fun. It's fun when you play it, but it will get retired when you take it really seriously. There's a lot of commitment, but it's the step I had to take. But I still have the utmost respect for the team. Yeah. They train every day. They probably the hardest trained team on campus.
They're always out
there. They're always out there. They're always out there, day in, day out. And now during winter break, they train from 9 to 11, to Tuesday, Thursday. That's a lot of commitment, that how much they're putting into this, and how much they're still enjoying it. I'm still really happy for them. They're still my my former teammates. I still have so much respect. They're really talented. Many outside frisbee, they are absolutely talented in other profession. Tina, amazing dancer.
Oh gosh, Tina?
Tina is
Freaking every time Terp is there and Tina's there, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a great dance.
yeah.
'Cause Tina's really, really talented.
Akashik, you know, the hardest working man on campus.
Akash?
Akash, he never stops.
No, never
He
does.
like can't stop, won't stop. Like he's just pulling every single time, and like I met so like I had so much time with like the freshmen as well. Dimitri, we watch sports together. We have a funny rivalry because I root for a football club and he loves the other football club in England. So like we have those like funny rivalries with each other as well. So like, it's always fun. It's always fun with the team, and I had I had a lot of enjoyment. I have so much enjoyment in it, but yeah, but like if I look back and think that do I regret leaving frisbee? Yes, I do. But was it the right decision?
Yes.
Of course it was. Of course. So it is the step I had to do.
And Knox is small enough where, like, even when you're not with frisbee, you can still hang out with the frisbee people.
Yeah, I can
talk
still
to
see them.
Yeah,
I just see them a few times.
Yeah.
See them, practice. Just seeing some old friends.
Yes.
Like still like reconnect with them. Like that's why I love them. That's why I love because like this campus is so small. You'd see everyone basically every day.
Yeah. You like that's what I love about this. That's what I love, and also what can be scary about it.
Yeah.
Because like everyone knows each other, so you'll always see people. But also, if you do one stupid thing, everyone
knows.
Yeah,
oh
everyone knows,
yes,
for sure. I feel like I've been able to avoid that so far, unless there's a rumor mill around I don't know about. But
someone's coming to your head.
yeah, someone's like, someone spreading lies. But no, I love this campus, and I get the impression you do too.
Yeah.
And I guess this would be a question for you. Like, if this deal with the Formula One interviewing and it's VTV, right?
Yeah, VCV. Yeah.
Yeah. Is sort of like you have to come. If you're gonna start, you have to start like now. Would you leave Knox? If that was the case.
Oh, this is really
It's a hard
difficult.
question.
It's a really hard question.
I mean, that's not the case, right? Because they really like you and they're willing to wait for those 4 years for you to start, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the actual case.
Well, to be honest, they only have to wait 1 year till I finish my whole thing.
Oh, your whole thing? It's
Yeah.
not 4 years.
So like it will start in 2020. So it was during my junior year. So they will only have to wait 1 more year to do it. So
Okay.
If that's the thing is happening.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea like where am I going right now. But darn it, it's such a difficult question because I had to leave immediately. That would be
That'd be a hard decision.
That was really hard decision. But a friend of mine told me about this. She's from Loyola, and we talked about them after I landed in Chicago before I came back to Knox a few months ago. I talked to her, and she said, follow your once in a lifetime opportunity because, if you miss it, it might not appear in front of your face again. And if I had to take it, and I had to,
Yeah.
because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You can't miss it.
You can't miss that opportunity.
You can't miss it. So
If you had to,
I had to do it.
You would do that?
I would do that.
Yeah. But you are appreciating the time you have at Knox right now to grow as a person, have fun, and all that good sort of thing.
And of course, I would love to have a college degree as well.
That would help because, like, if the VTV thing goes south, you have a degree to go back on and do other things.
Yeah, so
that's
probably I
true.
had was it one? I had was it just slightly more than 1 year to finish it again. So
Okay.
yeah,
For sure. Ooh, so you're majoring in journalism.
Oh no.
What are your
not journalism? So I'm working on my self-design major right now.
Oh, what's your self-design major?
Sports communication.
Sports communication.
Yeah.
Okay.
Journalism is not a major at Knox. It's actually a minor.
I remember hearing that was on TKS, wasn't it? Didn't they write a TKS article? Maybe it was a discourse article about how there isn't a journalism major.
Yeah, which is weird, but
yeah,
it's very interesting because my advisor and my journalism professor James Don, he told me about that. a lot of like good journalists never came out from like doesn't really often came out from a journalism a major journalism program.
Hmm.
They mostly came out from minor program, and they
Hmm.
focus on different aspect. So like, they could have journalism as a minor, and they could focus on psychology, on arts, on music,
Mm.
and they will
And then there'll be a journalism in that
yeah.
field.
So like, you
Ah,
incorporate it, and you could be an absolutely amazing journalist. So sorry for my English is a bit messed up. My bad. But
no problem whatsoever. I mess up my English sometimes too.
a bit grammar Nazi there.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it is. You know, but then when you incorporate, it's something different, and you have much more understanding of it as
Mhm.
well. And he was right. He was right. And I apply, a lot of his of his notes, of his advice, and like it was almost exactly the same thing I experienced during my internship, and yeah, but back to the sports journalism major as well. So I'm working on it. Probably finish in probably 2 or 3 weeks if I
Mhm.
can. Probably 4 as well. But I want to finish at this term. So like from the next term onwards, I could focus on the remaining thing that I have back at Knox.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I, for one, am very entertained. I do have to say, I did not think to check if there is someone that goes the hour after this. So we might go a bit over, depending on if we have more
Yeah.
we want to talk about for sure. Is there any... So we've talked about all your big plans. We've talked a bit about your youth in Vietnam and how busy it is there. I guess my next question for you would be, like, are there things at Knox, because you have like about a year left, or like what were you saying, like
No.
next year you'd be done?
No.
After next year?
No, not next year. Still have after this year, probably 2 more years left.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying yeah. My apologies.
No, you're totally fine.
What are some things you're wanting to do at Knox before you're done? Here, or even furthermore, what are some things you want to do in the
Ooh.
States before you're done?
Oh, that's something I'm kind of planning on as well. In the States, traveling. So there's only two places that I just spent time in the States. Chicago, like outside of Gainesville, is Chicago, because I went there almost every time. I take my flight and
Yeah.
have like some few short stays in Chicago, and then New York. I've been there twice for a total of 3 weeks. See my relatives, and had an absolutely amazing amount of time. But why not something for a change?
Yeah.
Because so I have a few places I wanted to go. Boston will be on the cards for spring break, which
Yeah.
I'm really excited for. Never been a fan of Boston sports, but it's a great place to visit. Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon. We have a lot of friends live in Oregon as well, and Oregon's a beautiful place. Like you can't argue with it. California. Probably LA. Probably LA. Like just to see Hollywood film.
LA is one of those places.
LA. I think
wants to visit.
for a lot of people. San Francisco. The hills, just going around, climbing up, climbing down. Probably I will have a lot of problem physically there, but I say why not? Beautiful city, beautiful scenery, and probably a place that I could take a lot of good photos for.
Very
And
nice.
lastly, no, probably two more places. San Antonio in Texas, because I always want to see a San Antonio Spurs basketball game. That's my favorite ever team. And going down to Texas, and bro, food adventure as well, barbecue, just have fun, and probably Pennsylvania for the last place. So yeah, just traveling,
All around.
travel all around, just have fun. Enjoy the moments, sing arts, just enjoying every moment of it. At Knox, future plans for next year. Uh, huh. Well, I haven't thought of future plans for next year yet, but
No.
probably more. I will do more activities if I can
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't done much during my time at Knox. Um, from but next year probably the year I will focus mostly on my major and my minor,
Yeah.
and also do more projects. And if I can do if I could, I would love to have a chance to publish my own photography album.
Mm.
That I just think of
I'd
this.
see that. Yeah.
Like I would love to have my own photography album because like I've been taking photographs from probably a few months now. It's not like it came just like just small things. Like just go around take photos and then after I took the photography course, I think there's something
There's
I,
something,
that,
yeah.
like, I really like and like if I could have a chance like to publish my own photography album, it's like hell yeah. But probably I just publish it on online,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook if you want to.
Well, I'd say we're kind of close to the time. We should probably shut it down. But I
Yeah.
have a few more things I do really want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
And the one that came to me, I'm surprised. I want to ask you a bit more about Vietnam and your place there because I feel like a lot of the listeners don't really know much about it.
Yeah.
One thing I learned when we were eating at Steak and Shake.
Oh yeah,
that one time.
that was so fun.
Yeah, and it was that Vietnam sort of split like in a similar way that the states are where you kind of have the north and the south.
Yeah.
Right. The north is like blander food from what I recall, and the
No,
south is, or is
no,
it the
you're
opposite?
It depends. It depends on I think for the people who live there, they will have different types of food.
Yeah.
Different lifestyle as well. It's much different from from the north to the south. The north is basically a bit of Game of Thrones.
Really?
To be honest, like people, but the people is fine. But
How is it like Game of Thrones? Are they like?
they're more themselves as I see. But when you travel down to the south, there's like people they're more open to you. But it still depends on each region, and I haven't been to every part of Vietnam yet to experience all.
It's generalization, which.
But
can be
also
wrong, yeah.
it's like something like from hundreds and thousands of years being developed, and that's why I love Vietnam because it's really diverse. It's like not one country. It's like different people, different races as well. But it's like a lot of people thought Vietnamese is like just one race, but there's like a whole lot. It's like there are 54 races of Vietnamese as well. 54.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So yeah, but then you have those common terms, but in Vietnam like 54. So I can't remember all of it because
There's 54 of them.
54.
Yeah.
Yeah. 54, 53. I don't really remember. Or just more than 50. But it is it's special because like they look at Vietnam. They just see a lot of people look at Vietnam. They thought it's just a country, but then it's more than just a country.
I think a lot of people think of like the Vietnam War and things like that.
Yeah, it's much more diverse as well.
Then yeah.
Is we are open to more. And also globalization is helping us a lot. I greatly enjoy. I still greatly enjoy my time back in Vietnam this summer because I love it so much. Just going around, seeing people, having fun, especially during the soccer season as well, because like our national team is playing playing really well. They just made it to the quarterfinals of the Asian Cup, which shout out to the team. And people just like after a win, they just go outside, just ride the motorcycles, fly the flag, and just having fun. Even some people just bring their frying pan just like a drum. So like it's people they stand up on top of cars like just waving flags. That's why I love about the country because they're so soulful. They love it so much. Like it's amazing. It's like one year and you came back like you feel you're missing out on so much.
Yeah.
And then you found like you feel it's like it's home. Like you really really enjoy it. Just like join the fun, having fun with people. Meeting, like just like having the best time of your life.
Yeah.
That's all.
Amazing. So before I ask you the last question that I ask everyone who's on the show, you've said it a lot this evening. Having fun. Would you say that's sort of like the philosophy that you live by is
To the fullest.
living to the fullest,
Yes.
having fun, but also taking the opportunities that are given to you.
Yeah.
Because that's part of living fully, right?
Hmm.
Is that sort of, where did that philosophy come from? Was it sort of just came naturally? Like, where did that come from?
I think just like, I think when you look back, like when I look back as well, I think I missed a lot of opportunities as well. Then I think to myself, like, also after that fateful night in 2017, I thought to myself, like, opportunities doesn't come often.
Yeah.
They probably come once or twice. Like, you miss it once, like you might never have a chance again. Like I said before, and that's what I want to do, because I want to focus more to the aspect that this is probably the only chance I have, and I have to take it. Like, it's like it's not that it's all or nothing, but it is, it's like
a blessing. It's
like a
thing.
blessing.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime. Like, why would you miss it for? Like, I sometimes I feel like, is when you miss out, like when you look back, you will feel like it hurts. It hurts when you miss out. I miss out on some part of my life as well, and that's what. And I don't want to regret. I don't want to, when I grow old. I look at myself and I regret, like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I take this opportunity? Because, like, if like I would lament myself, like, if I would take this opportunity, would my life be different than this? Probably is. So I just said to myself, just take the chance, and maybe along the way you'll find something.
There you go. Well, so now we come to the last question, which I feel like hopefully won't repeat too much what you just said, because what you just said was inspirational, and I'm inspired. Like, Rob, I don't know if you know this, but you're like one of the most inspirational, positive people I think on this campus, especially after this conversation we've had.
You're still wearing my wristband as well.
Yes. Oh, I'll tell this story before the last question.
Oh, yeah.
So we were doing an improv scavenger hunt, right? We were running around, super excited, and Rob walks up to me and goes, "Hold out your hand." And I'm like, "Okay, Rob, I trust you with my life." I hold out my hand, and he slaps on this slap bracelet, which had #BlessedAF. Blessed AF on it, and I appreciated it so much, because we all going through hard times, and that was like, it was like a blessing. It's like,
I think the things that, like, when, like, only me and you and like, just some people actually know what happened.
If people ask me about it, I'll tell them, but I don't always tell them about the Blessed AF. But now people can know if they listen to this. But and I still wear it, and I really do it's a reminder of, like, the blessings I have and the opportunities I've received. Full circle. And so the last question I would love to ask you, Rob, it's a question I ask everyone who comes on here.
Yeah.
If you could tell your future self anything, or someone who's listening to this anything, it can be both, a message for both, but, like, it's up to you. What would you say to future you, or someone listening to this right now, or in the future?
To future self?
Yeah. Like, future you's looking back, listening to this.
When you look back, you won't regret your decision. You won't regret. Yeah, that's what we'll say, because if you take the right steps, like, you prepared. I remember because a lot of the things, like, that made me into this, I venture into more things in my life, because I was really inspired by Casey Neistat, who is, like, probably my favorite YouTuber of all time. Like, I follow his story a lot, like how he dropped out of high school and then became, like, this super successful YouTuber, vlogger, and I was so inspired by his story that, when I turn back, like, if I look back, I wouldn't regret my decision, because I know that I take the right step. I take the opportunities where, where you came prepared, and it just came, and when those two things combine, you're heading for something good. Like maybe sometimes it doesn't work out the way you imagine, but it is something. It's more than just nothing. That yeah, like when I look back, I won't regret it.
When you look back, you won't regret it.
Yeah,
Those are good finishing words.
yeah.
This has been The Big Picture, my interview with Rob. I don't know if I've done him justice with this at all. Probably not, but I
think
might
it's
just
totally enough though.
I might just have to have him on again, maybe. But I truly enjoyed this, and I hope all of you did as well. And I hope you all, including future Rob, if you're listening to this,
Future Rob with all the beards.
yep, look back and don't regret it. Right?
Yep, all the gray hair with it as well.
There you go. Thank you all for listening.